going.
Welcome back, lads.
Hello.
Hello again.
Long time coming since the last one. We've had a bit of a hiatus, which I'll blame Curtis.
No,
Let's not pull no punches, it was definitely Curtis's
yeah, whatever.
fault. So,
I weren't blameless.
what have we been up to since the last one, lads?
Well, the last one we was talking about when we were planning on going to see one of our mates at the white collar boxing.
Bellew time.
Yeah, so I think we'll just cover quickly his
outcome.
results.
So, I'd just like to wish Ricky a speedy recovery from his hospital bed.
Getting banged out in the first
Yeah.
10 seconds.
Got KO'd, but you know, it's the... No, in fairness, he done well.
Probably before I was poisoned, he probably done well. He probably performed. He probably performed from what I've seen, other than the semi and not semi-finals.
Now, you know what it is, right? Ricky's fairly fit, innit? And he was doing them like
Half
long
runs and all
distance
that,
jogs and stuff. And what basically made me respect it a lot more was the fact that this guy was walking towards him to pan his head in, and he had his hands on his knees, and like that was, I was just looking at him like, stand up.
No,
Yeah,
like, put your hands up.
That was frustrating.
That is.
Do you know what the thing I would say though,
you know.
is the link between fitness. It's a different type of boxing. You could be the fittest person in the world. Someone's trying to punch you at the same time. You know, it's
The adrenaline's
the
going as well.
adrenaline.
Yeah, it's
I
draining.
spoke to Ricky afterwards, and he was saying the nerves, your family's there.
Fighting for
You're
it.
half drained before you even throw a
Yeah,
punch. You know what I mean?
Mad.
The thing is though, for me, that the fight was won at that point, and I think what Ricky relied upon at that point was that this guy was his workmate. You know what I mean?
No, but the lad was trying to knock him out.
No,
lad.
the lad basically could sense that he was getting
Yeah.
into it, because he seemed to have more left in the tank.
He
'cause
did
Ricky
have a
done-
lot more in the tank.
Ricky done a lot of work in the early stages. He done a lot of work in the early stages of the fight.
Yeah.
So he was absolutely just like fucking fucked at the end, and this kid just started coming back into it.
Nah, that fight was won for me at that point.
So
Yeah.
the thing that I had respect for everyone, or it opened my eyes. You could tell some of them lads were proper like fit, no homo, but every single one of them was knackered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even though it's
no
only
one was,
6
like,
minutes,
coming out fresh.
yeah, even though it's only 6 minutes, the intensity. Know what it is about them fights? No matter if you're fit and you think, you know what, I'm going to pace myself, you can't. That's the thing with boxing.
in like
you
proper-
can't. Your fingers are almost what you want to do. Is you know, it doesn't really matter if the other person's pushing the pace. You know what I mean? You've got to respond, and it just seemed everyone just wanted to have it. So people were getting knackered.
Nah, that kid, dude, remember how wild he
The
was?
ginger one?
Yeah,
He had the best stamina there, though,
He
didn't
was
he?
unbelievable with the stamina, but he was the world's worst fighter. Like, I would hate to fight
Yeah,
someone
he'd
like
fuck
that.
He was game as a badger.
No, but in
Lad,
a
he was
boxing
non-stop.
match, like, you'd probably destroy him in a normal fight, but in like a boxing match,
Yeah.
he's
Fuck
so hard to fight because he's
He's
jumping
there,
about.
yeah, and he was
He's
on
in your face constantly.
No, what
Fuck
the-
off, lad.
you know the worst
Give me
thing.
a fucking second.
You know the worst thing about if you were fighting someone like him, you'd get beat by him just on fitness, and you'd be so frustrated because you'd think he's shit.
What the thing was with me is like 3 minutes seemed like fucking half an hour.
No, they like it was weird.
The time.
I'd imagine you were in the ring, how long it would feel like.
Not that I'm
Yeah.
playing, we were at ringside and obviously invested because we wanted Ricky to get his head panned in and me win. So that's why I give him more credit. His family was there, we were there, but also Melvin, come on, before
Lad.
him.
You know what? It's
Melvin was
He-
And
he
give him
was
masterclass.
very
Melvin
good,
was,
you know.
Melvin was
very,
masterclass.
very good.
He was said skillful, weren't he?
Yeah.
Slippery. But you know what I would say as
Bellew
well?
got his head panned in.
When I was watching that, you seen levels. So we were watching the white collar lads, our mates, and we were putting good displays.
And then them
And then the
amateurs.
semi-pros came on. You know what I was thinking when I was watching them? These aren't even pros who were like
Nah,
journeyman
their
level.
power,
Imagine you were
accuracy,
watching
stamina.
Anthony Joshua or someone that close. Lad, the level. Imagine you were watching Lomachenko. What it would look like from how, you know, the one who was southpaw, he was dropping the kid, and he was rapid. How would Lomachenko? Lad, that's all I was thinking in my mind. He looked unbelievable.
What was good?
How would Lomachenko look if you were sitting there with
That looked like one of the hardest people I've ever seen.
Yeah, he was.
No, why they look? It's because the speed, the power,
It's
the
the accuracy
precision.
as well.
Lad, the way they were throwing the punches compared to the white collar, they were just so tight.
There was
and
no
combination.
halo sticks.
Yeah,
Compact.
yeah.
It's like they were both fighting like that.
It was good to be at a boxing match and be that close to actual talent as well.
Yeah.
Because
But lad, that's what I mean, Peter. That talent is relative. So the talent again, if you were like in a pro thing, or if you went to watch an elite level fight, the level would be like mind blowing.
Sorry, you just mentioned then. I seen a photograph on Instagram, right? Where had Lomachenko just fought.
No, he's fighting soon.
Well, there was a fight where he dropped someone, and a photographer just took a photograph from the guy who's dropped over his shoulder as if what he can see, and all he can see is Lomachenko doing a backflip. Has he done a backflip before?
I don't know.
Well, I'll just like imagine that, lad. Imagine
that's disrespect.
I much like we wouldn't do backflip while the guy's on the floor.
No, lad, I'll get you.
That's not Lomachenko, Curtis. He hasn't done that.
Right.
No one would do that, lad.
And it's on his page.
As the person
Go on
gets
his-
dropped, he does a black backflip. Lad, imagine what would happen if... You know what's stupid about this whole thing? He's been watching Street Fighter with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
No.
The thing is, imagine Lomachenko dropped someone, does a backflip, fucked up, fucking got injured, and then the guy got up. There's the fight gone.
No.
That's madness what you were saying.
He's on his back. Get your Instagram photo.
So he's already on the floor.
The kid's on his back.
The referee must have stopped the fight, lad. He must have. That don't make sense.
So speaking about fights and boxing, Usyk and
Bellew.
Big toe.
Bellew, verbal abuse, wife. Tony, verbal abuse, wife.
You know what? We just touch on the verbal abuse thing for a second. I think that guy, who's the security guard, is a pussy. Do you know why? He was saying in the lift with Bellew's wife, I'm glad that happened.
No, they were talking in it and he didn't know it was his wife.
So lad,
They were saying, oh, it's over already. That type of thing.
I made up and all that. So lad, you know, she gave them a bit of shit. If that was me, and even if it was inadvertently,
He said something about his kids as well.
I was speaking about someone's, even if I didn't know, and I was speaking like, oh, I'm glad that's over, early night, or whatever they were saying, and then I got shit for it, I'd feel bad and think, oh, do you know what? I wouldn't then shop it to the fucking paper.
No, one of them said something
language,
about
so
the kids.
you know.
No, but one of them said something about her kids as well. Obviously, it's not excusing what she's saying, but what happened was they said something about like, she must have said something and then they've said something, oh, isn't that great language, where are your kids or something like that. And she said, my kids are fucking crying or something, and then went off on some tirade of abuse.
You open the fucking door, and sorry about that language, but anyway.
Yeah, it was something to that effect.
So, he got beat, didn't he?
Yeah, but in fairness to him, this is like, when I was thinking about the fight, if you know boxing, you know what Usyk's done. He's like literally, you got Lomachenko.
You beat him?
No, this is what I'm saying. You got Lomachenko, you got someone called Terence Crawford, and then Usyk's around that sort of thing. He's like in the top 5, pound for pound. So I was thinking, I rate Tony Bellew, but
he said that.
I thought, I can't see even Tony really being competitive. I'll hold my hands up. He was fucking in that fight, you know what I mean?
I thought he was head on point.
He was
ahead before he got beat on the card.
They all had him at head. But what I would say is, which is a testament to how good Usyk is, Tony was fighting all out to be competitive, you know what I mean?
Didn't he turn around and say something like he didn't realise he was at head?
Yeah.
So that's the way why he was fighting the way he was.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Maybe that would have took something away from his actual fight though.
Thing is, lad, what Usyk was doing, which was so good, and Tony Bellew said this after the fight, even when Tony was like getting away and getting a shot off, Usyk was always, his footwork was so good, he was always like right with him. So Tony Bellew could never get a rest, you know what I mean?
That's what
he was having to fight hard just to keep him off. And then Usyk was just slowly building momentum, and then it was mad, like, it happened like, Tony just like, kind of just fell apart, you know what I mean? I think I don't know if he got hit by a few shots before, but the knockout was brutal.
Will
that
Tony go
knockout
down
was
then
heavy.
as a great and a good?
If he would have won that fight, I think he would have went
I
down.
would-
as
I
a-
think
Someone,
he would've went
one
down.
of our mates made a good point that someone else said is that he's had a good career, but he's never beat a champ.
But that doesn't matter, kids. That's boxing, mate. Miguel Cotto, I don't think ever beat a champ. Won vacant titles. Doesn't really matter.
Right,
You know,
okay.
Tony beat David A twice. It depends what you know.
Is that a prime David A?
It doesn't matter. The thing is about a career in boxing is
He's had a good career.
there's like them fighters who you know there's a Floyd Mayweather, that's once in a generation. But like the amount of fighters when you think of it, as I said, just look at the levels. We go back to that. To be a world champion, lad, is unbelievable.
Yeah.
To be a British champion, I think that because the way we watch the sport, we don't actually see that there's hundreds of fighters
Yeah,
who
yeah.
never even get to a British champion. You know, Tony Bellew said that when he won a European title, he was like, he's the champion of Europe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's won a world title at Goodison, massive.
What was that? What title did he win?
WBC, the green belt, which is the best belt. So we won that. So you know.
He said, although you're an Everton fan, I mean, a Liverpool fan, you've got to give that. That's like...
No, he's done well.
He's done well, and then, alright, nowhere near the prime David A, but at the time, everyone was saying he's going to get sparked out.
I even thought though that he was going to get beat.
And he's beaten twice. What I would say is, he's one of Liverpool's greatest
He's one of
fighters.
Britain's.
I wouldn't say he's one of Britain's, no. Because Britain still had great fighters. But Bellew's one of the best of his time. You know, even now, like, people like AJ, Carl Frampton, there's a few who were like better than Bellew, but for like name recognition, he's one of the
I don't know whether
and he's made millions. So
what I'd say about Bellew though,
he's made millions late on, though, innit?
But yeah, that's what I mean. He's done it in the last few
Yeah.
fights. hasn't he?
would you say? I don't know if it's because I'm from Liverpool and the hype around him and AJ.
You really think he has got much hype?
Sorry, because you keep cutting in there. Sorry about that, listeners. Also, Tasha would go into that as well. So there has been a bit of a hype on Liverpool and boxing. But do you think they're a big part of... Because boxing's a big thing in Britain again now. I remember when I was a kid, Nigel Benn, Eubank, that era.
Yeah,
you were getting
it
the
had like
boxing.
a golden age.
Nassim, and then it went away from me a bit.
Yeah.
And it's back now. I watch a boxing fight on my own on my phone. Whereas before I'd be like, I'm not
Yeah,
arsed.
really nice.
Do you think he's part of that? Or do you think it's the internet?
I'd say the big thing that's part of that is AJ.
Yeah.
And Tony Bellew was part of...
Riding the crest of that way.
Yeah.
But
It's I'd say it's the Olympics 2012. Britain had, you know, with Tasha, with AJ, you know, Britain had a lot of success in that Olympics. I think 3 gold medals. And then Eddie Hearns had he's took over the sport. And it's kind of just, since then, it's all... But I do think AJ is the leader of it. But then Tony Bellew
he's had an input though.
He's had a guy who was generally disliked by a lot of people, but maybe not outside Liverpool.
I used to dislike Bellew a lot.
Yeah,
and then
a lot.
Yeah, I did.
And it's mainly just because
He
a
was in
grown
our school.
man spitting out the window out as he drives past Anfield, and it was like, you're having a laugh, mate.
No, sorry, we're going to
That kind
digress.
of bullshit,
No, it
man.
isn't, because
Lad, he's a grown man and he's spitting outside Anfield.
Peter, lad, that would be... You will find a grown man doing the same to Everton, lad. It's just because he's in the public
No.
eye.
I don't think Liverpool.
I don't disagree with what you're saying. There will be knobheads who do that. And I will vocally call those people knobheads, regardless of who they are. That is knobhead behaviour. And that is why he's split opinion in Liverpool. Don't get me wrong, I didn't actually want him to lose any of these fights. I actually wanted him to do well. But in terms of likability, he hurt himself early on by...
I don't know, do you know what's
I'm an
funny?
Evertonian and
See, I warned to him as he...
fucking back.
But I just respected the fact that when you hear him speak about boxing, he's a student.
No,
a lot
he's knowledgeable about what he's
a lot of boxers don't actually have even a clue sometimes. So a lot of people are good at it, but without Tony Bellew,
He's
was
not
probably
the
not.
science.
He's not probably the best athletically, but he's that good with the
100%
boxing
he goes
brain.
into punditry
You know what I
now,
mean?
don't he?
He should do.
Yeah.
He definitely
he
should
knows
do.
his stuff.
You still make money there, innit? So
Yeah.
So
He's set for life.
not
It
do
should be anyway, shouldn't he?
But he
Yeah,
said that in
but
his... I watched his
He's
press
always
conference,
have a bit of money.
which turned my finger around on him, because I don't know why. I just didn't like him. I don't know whether sometimes when you see Liverpoolians on the telly, it's like, oh, you know what I mean? I don't know if you get it, you know, fuck, just rein it in. It's like that guy on X Factor. He's a good singer, but
No,
he pisses me off.
he goes too hard for me.
But
He's hilarious.
I
But-
know a few people know
let
him and all that. Like.
And I didn't like him, and I couldn't really tell you why. But then I watched the fight and I watched the press conference, and I thought, nah, you know what? That's
Lad,
up
you know,
to
sometimes,
you've done your thing, bro. Like, and you'd have come from nothing,
Yeah.
and you're here on Sky Sports talking about retiring for millions. You fought David Day. You've just had a bash with this kid who I didn't know was in that elf, but I've got that. He's done his thing, lad,
And that's one thing I was sometimes you got to think. He is just fucking went to Chilwell
he was
School.
3 years old.
You know what I mean?
I don't ever remember him in
Yeah,
school,
I did.
me, you know.
He
I
was
just
in
remember
dances,
him.
yeah?
I remember him with
Never
Dan one
remember
time when we got into the Barcelona on the coattails. Can you remember that? When we kept on getting in there.
We only seen him on the bus and that though. He was in William Tangier, weren't he?
Yeah, I don't remember him. Me.
That year was, I tell you what, well, Speedy didn't make it, but Speedy was fucking sick at football. Then you've got Neil Dans, you've got Tony Bellew, you've got William Times.
They're the year above. In speed.
He's not.
Nah, Neil Danzer's only the year above us.
He's not.
Oh no.
Neil Dan's Bellew's year.
Oh, actually, yes, he should be the year above that. Yeah.
Yeah. So when we were in year 9, they were in, they're Beverly Ross's year. Year above.
Yeah, they're the year above.
Yeah. Okay.
Shouldn't be saying names, so we're in the league of all these people.
I don't even know that person.
We did.
We do. She's a legend. She is like, sorry, I've just got to say this. I don't care if it's on air. I don't care. No, you don't. You don't. This is what the pod's about. If you ask me to list 5 things about Chilwell, yeah, not in any order, I have to sit. She's in the top 3, bro. Oi, I'm telling you, that's my first
Not
kiss.
in any order, she's in the top 3.
That's my first kiss. Virginity lost. She's up there.
She's not part of
No,
any.
she's not.
By the way, disclaimer. Don't get it confused. She's not part of any first kiss, any loss of virginity. You little snake. Man will be like, what? Curtis is rolling like that?
I'll be trending on Twitter. So Nari done well, lad. I'd just like to say, after watching the fight, watching his press conference as well, I thought, nah, hats off to you, lad. You've done your thing.
Hats off to you. You've had my fucking twirl.
Yeah, man, easy. And he's done his thing. So, what I've just wanted to go on to something. 2 things really. AJ, because I just wanted to speak about AJ. She didn't speak about boxing. Just one question for Ryan, really, because
Come on.
how good is AJ? Because I see him living his best life, drinking rum and shit.
Yeah. Is he? Is he doing that? Yes,
What?
drinking and stuff. He can do that on his downtime, innit? He's obviously very good. Not the. Lad, you know what?
He's clearly an elite level boxer.
He's an elite level boxer, but you know what's weird? Heavyweight is like the reason why that's the biggest weight. It almost rules don't apply with other weights. In other weights, it's about skill. Heavyweight, a lot of it's to do with physicality,
power and everything.
power. You know, as you get older and as you get heavier under your breath, the actual thing of imagine lad, you're AJ that size for fighting for 12 rounds. Do you know how much lad, if you were that big, how tired you would be.
Yeah.
In a way, lad, when even someone like Tyson Fury, he's like fucking 18, 19 stone, massive. The way he moves for 12, he's done well.
Rapid.
Yeah.
Rapid for his size.
He's done well to get down in weight, but yeah, lad, AJ's top. I just hope you get a good fight in the next few weeks between Wilder and Fury. And
who are you backing for that?
You know what? It's one of them. I just think one thing is the speed of Wilder might he's much quicker.
Really?
But Fury's bigger and he's a much better boxer.
See, when I seen Fury, I thought
Wilder's
I
so
can't
fast.
remember a heavyweight
You can move like that.
that.
No one can move like that. I think he's got a good chance of making Wilder look. It could be. The way I see it is, Wilder catches Fury, he can knock him out. Or Fury makes him look like an absolute novice.
Yeah.
They're the options. But I just think Fury might get caught because Wilder's just a bit quicker.
Here's how I see it going in my head, and I could be completely way off. Fury's going to outbox him and just pick him off, and as you put it so well, make him look like an absolute novice. And then the big fight happens.
Yeah.
The AJ fight with Fury.
Do you reckon that's bigger though?
And then I see
Do you reckon that's bigger than AJ v Wilder? What AJ v Wilder would have the
AJ v
whole...
Wilder would have the world
world
behind it, where for British boxing it's
Yeah.
Fury, and I'm selfish, I'd rather see
I don't
Fury.
think Fury and Wilder, Fury and AJ would happen, you know.
Don't you? Do you not reckon that?
I just think I don't think it's that. I just think
The promotion
the two promotions against each other. There's a lot more hurdles to. Yeah, there's a lot more.
The thing is,
can't
the
stand it.
AJ v Wilder has got the USV.
Yeah, that's the way. It's more of global.
So that has to be the next
For
one.
them, it's the dream fight, innit? Just due to the fact
Just
of
due to
the money that can be made.
So we'll probably pick up the Wilder fight anyway on one of these episodes.
Yeah. Well, it's in 2 weeks, so
Yeah, so we'll definitely
speak
cover it,
about
because
it.
we'll all definitely watch that.
So should we go into some more serious issues?
Well,
Guns in
stop-
America.
Stop digging.
Where do we start? It's been two. Let's just call them incidents because
it's not incidents,
the
are they,
master-
Kate? It's
they
the
are
massacres.
Well, they are, but
Don't call them an incident. It's like, oh,
Well, for me,
we had
they
an
are
incident in work.
Mass shootings.
We had an
Yeah, but-
incident in work.
Yeah,
not
but
fucking
The
this-
toilet's blocked.
yeah, but it's becoming like that. It's older.
Ryan is the last one in the toilet.
It's becoming like that though. It is.
Yeah, I would agree.
And what I'll say, so
No, it's not becoming. It's already far
there's a
past
lot.
that.
Not maybe on not the levels that are being reported, but you'd have incidents. Yeah, well, look at that guy who got shot by the police. I know that there's a police element to that. I'm not going to go into that.
The security guard.
Yeah, but
That's madness.
you'd have incidents like that in America that go unreported.
The funny thing I seen about the, just to give a bit of backstory, basically there was a security guard in America, he had a gun. There was a guy who he shot multiple people, didn't he? Security guard apprehended him.
Done his job.
Yeah.
Was over him with the gun, stopped basically
mass shooting.
a potential mass murderer.
And got
The
killed.
police have came, seen a black man on top of someone with a gun, and just shot him dead. So the thing I seen was, the thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good white guy with a gun. Because that's one of America's favourite sayings. Only a good guy can stop a bad guy.
Well,
with
this
a
is
gun.
the thing I was speaking about logic. I know we spoke about what I believe the two things are about the Second Amendment, which we'll go into. There is a logic to the America's attitude. Is some of America is saying, or majority is, well, if we all have guns, this, people will be a lot safer. Yes, that's correct.
The Second Amendment's there to
Stop a
basically
tyrannical
arm,
government.
Right.
to arm the populace against tyrannical governments.
So the government had
So
turned on them.
then
would be
they
able to
could
fight back.
overthrow with an armed militia. That is the whole theory behind it. But
Let's say as well, it was made while America had just got independence from a world power of Britain,
Yeah.
which was potentially going to come back and try and
overthrow the
So that
governments at that time. So
it actually had
fitted at that
it
era,
fitted the time.
where it took like 60 to 80 seconds to reload a musket at the time. And now you've got AR-15s which are killing people with ridiculous rates of fire. And if the government at this stage now wanted to kill you, they wouldn't be on the streets, there wouldn't be boots on the ground.
Yeah.
It'd be predator strikes.
You can bear arms in other countries though, can't you?
You can have, but the
Legally you can bear arms here,
Yeah.
you've got the license.
yeah, you
just
can have,
can't
in
carry it.
Canada, for example, they have a lot of guns, but it's for
So,
hunting.
and this is the thing.
It's a societal problem
Things,
as
yeah.
well. But guns, as Peter's just touched on, there can be no argument why a member of the public needs an AR-15 or an assault
But
rifle.
this is why.
Why do I need, lad? Or I
Because
can
once you're allowed
understand.
to have something, you want the best.
Caterers, it's insane.
No, but the thing is though, they could still be allowed guns.
Yeah, you could have a handgun to
Handguns,
protect. You can protect
that'd
your family.
That'd stop how many more shootings, because you only got 16 shots.
You could still do a lot of damage with a
high-level
handgun, don't
thingies.
get me wrong, but you're not doing the same damage as you are with a fucking machine gun.
The guy in Vegas.
And
The
Arnie
power of them
Schwarzenegger.
rifles could go through 2 people with 1 bullet in a crowd.
Double kill
Exactly.
that. Double kill. No, so.
Come on, let's talk about why this has got a
No.
why every person with a gun makes sense.
No,
Can
not
I
that it
just say
makes
as well, though,
sense.
this, just to point out the state of America at the minute, there's been, after the 2 latest shootings, there has been 307 mass shootings in 311 days. That's insane.
Incidents.
Do you know the thing as well? Where cases where you say incidents. If you say incidents,
shot at any one
in the
time.
last 2 shootings, the Jewish guy, the white supremacist guy, and then this one, the Marine, that's 23 people dead, and we're just like, it's almost nonchalant, isn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Another one. Oh, what are we gonna do? Oh, we're gonna send thoughts and prayers.
That's what's expected.
What I want to
the thing is, they're not going to stop this because. So let me get into the logic. Sorry,
I understand what the
if everyone had the logic is basically, if everyone had a gun, then the madman would think twice because he knows if I go in this Walmart, the fucking cashier's got a gun. Yeah. Possibly everyone shooting's got a gun. So really, it's not really wise that I just start licking off because I haven't got the upper hand.
But he doesn't know that though, that they haven't got guns. So that's where the first flaw in this logic is, because he's not going into an area.
Can I just say?
Wait, let me just see the first thing, and I'll let you continue. The first flaw in your logic is if he knew.
Not my logic.
Oh, sorry. In this argument is if he knew everyone had a gun, he'd think twice. Well, because it's legal, he doesn't actually know that people haven't, so he doesn't care anyway.
Statistics.
Kids know a lot of people own guns, so these guys are going into places where statistically there might be 3 or 4 people who do carry a gun.
It's crazy because 40% of the world's amount of guns is in America. Over 40% of the amount
don't they manufacture a lot
of total guns? But
no, but
I'm not sure. I couldn't
do.
really be certain.
Yeah.
But of that total amount, the people who are going to own those guns are a small amount in large numbers.
Yeah, it's people who have got people have got these arsenals or
which, to be fair, I do.
There are actual armed militias in America.
They are impressive. He had a garage and he had just pure straps and tanks.
Guns are great.
I seen another thing on Twitter. I'm becoming that echo chamber where I listen to things on Twitter, but it said the only way that the gun problems will be resolved is if black people or Hispanic people start killing loads of people.
Bro, I'm telling you.
Then it will be like we need to do something about it.
I put that in the group. In the only way that this will stop is if those who are privileged, that feel threatened. Because right now, you're not, and I'm not trying to turn this into a race thing. You're not getting blacks or Hispanics going into places and wiping people out,
or Muslims.
So in an ironic way, the majority race don't feel threatened.
The thing is though, I agree with what you're saying to a degree, but in America, did that fuck?
No, bro.
I think the fact of they're still spinning off as now we need more.
We need more.
Now you can have hand.
This is an argument for me to get more.
There is a thing though, Peter, where
ridiculous.
In the past when the Black Panthers had their guns, they brought in stricter rules for having guns.
Absolutely.
So I do understand. They're not going to say, "Oh, a black guy's got a gun, let's ban guns." But there might just be a bit more.
Because what's happening in America is thing of superiority, and they believe that. So to go back to your thing, and I'm not going down that avenue, but he's not thinking like that. When you're armed with a strap gun to kill people, you're not asked. So
but his kid he's going on a suicide mission, so if he kills 1 or 2 and gets killed, he's not. So this thing
can
that
I just ask as well,
he's got the element
you're
of
a
surprise.
legal gun owner, right? You're a legal gun owner. I'm a legal gun owner. We're shopping in Walmart. Some loony comes in, bang, 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 starts letting off. First reaction: are you going to be quick, draw McGraw and start?
No, I'm out of there.
I'm gone.
No,
kids, this is another thing.
The people.
How many times is there? How many times have you seen this? Then there's an active shooter in this school. Where did the other heroes ready to run in the school and start killing people? They're at home shitting it like everyone else.
Yeah.
They've got guns, lad, but if you know someone, there's a difference between, I've got a gun for protection,
I've got to use
and
this
the
gun.
thing is, you've got someone who's going around killing people. There's a big lad. If someone pulls a gun out on you, you kill them for self-preservation. If a madman is in a place killing people indiscriminately, you're not going to think, oh yeah, I better go and do something.
Okay then.
It's not your job.
2 things here, just to be proper Lucifer advocate. Is it the guns that are the problem? Because we say Canada's got guns, and there's none of this nonsense going on in Canada. And if the amendment is amended, to what? Does that solve the problem? Because the guns are still going to be there, they're just going to be bootlegged, which is going to be more money for criminality. Bear with me, sorry, if I can just finish. Which is going to be more money for criminality, which is going to hurt society again, because now you can't go to Walmart and buy it over. You've got to buy it off fucking Chekhov, the Kosovan or whoever. So it brings other issues. So what is the resolve? Either way, you're going to have a problem.
There's illegal guns in the UK, so there's always there's illegal guns in the UK, but it's the thing is, Kate,
no, sorry.
You will have a lot of guns that people have. Yeah, you can't stop that. In Australia, they had the same thing after the mass shooting. I think in the 90s, they were buying guns at good prices. People could say it was like, look, this is now we're making it illegal. Bring your guns to the thing. The government will buy your guns from you. Now, alright, in America, loads of people might not give guns. Lad, if some people start getting locked up, lad, for having a gun, then, you know...
As people get locked up, and the point we haven't covered here, which is why they won't amend it, is because the money, and you've seen that from 30... Does that... If they stop, right, if guns are banned, you take away the right to bear arms, which will hit manufacturing of the bullets of the... which I didn't know.
America financially suffer.
The bullets are the most lucrative thing.
But the thing is, as much as we speak about, we understand all this, that still doesn't explain to me the fucking slack-jawed idiots who still say crazy stuff, lad. When kids are getting killed in Sandy Hook, they'd rather say it's a big... rather say, it's a conspiracy, or let's arm teachers. Could you imagine children and the teachers and armed a maniacs in with a gun? With a gun, you know,
game over.
How long before the teacher gets angry and kills someone, and then it let's arm the students as well? It's insane.
Mr. Eddowes, are you a racist? I try not to be. Imagine.
Mr. Porter was he was in a war, wasn't he, Porter?
I don't even know. But never mind, back. We're off on a tangent.
No, I just think that the problem is...
It's a case. It's good all in it.
What I'll say here is...
That's so far with What the LGBT community?
Saying names.
Now the teachers.
Saying names, you know, war heroes.
What I will say though is this thing of we need gun control. That's not your answer.
It is your answer.
It's not.
It's a part of the problem, kids.
It's the individuals.
Kids, there's two.
You sound like you are a Republican.
As much kids as you know, it's not going to completely solve the problem. The murder rate is like 12 to 15,000 people per year getting killed or something mad like that. It's unbelievable. You'd have to start at least trying to do something about it. You can't just say, "Oh, guns aren't the problem." No. They obviously are a massive part.
A problem.
Why is America's the only place in the world, in the first world, that has this sort of violence, lad? Yeah. And it's also one of the only countries which has guns. Why? A lot of America's things starts from the actual history of the country.
Yeah.
It's always been a violent place, but it still doesn't. You have to try something different. You can't just say. Oh, it's going. Guns aren't the problem. Let's just carry on. You know, people sending the kids to school and they're getting killed. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's peak.
There is excuses being thrown about all over the place. Like I shared in our little podcast group. Just that tweet where someone was arguing, and again, just for the echo chamber again, someone was arguing with a gun lobbyist, and then they said, "Oh yeah, it's not the guns, it's mental health in America." And then Dev went said that it's so weird that every country in the world has poor records with poor mental health, but doesn't have a mass shooting every week. It's almost like there's another issue here
because they don't have access to guns.
Exactly.
So you're saying guns aren't the issue, but obviously, if you control the issue. Yeah, how lax some of these things are. You can get registered. You can go in to a fucking mental institution, come out, and legally get a gun, like in the same month as you've been released for like being a schizophrenic. They won't even put mental health checks or sort of. Money? Let's try and stop this. No, it's not just about money. It's about freedom and their constitutional right. They believe in that constitution like it's a Bible.
It's about money.
It's not just about money, kids, because a lot of people who adhere to it or who say these things, they're not seeing money, mate. They're just seeing a gun. They're seeing a gun. They're not seeing
what I'm
millions.
saying is, they're maybe exercising their right to freedom, but the bigger overarching problem.
No, the overbearing control of it is down to money.
Yeah, but that's like in anything.
But that is every aspect of
life.
Yeah.
They're not going to do it, and it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? So
we've got our own issues over here anyway, currently. So let's just take a break from slagging off America at the minute, because obviously they're currently looking at us and seeing that we've got an issue with knife crime currently. So
I put this in the group the other day, and I just let me finish. Right.
Okay.
Because a lot of the knife crime in our country is, if the media it's centred around London. So when you speak about knife crimes, you always use the London statistics because it's the capital city and probably is a bit more going on there. So recently I spoke to some family in London who said there is a big problem in London. There is a problem in London, but it's not as big as
it's being made out. Okay.
So let me just thrash this out. So what I'm not saying is there's not. Fucking hell. This is
no.
hyperbole. There's nothing going on. There's a big problem with guns, and probably goes into another discussion. But it's not linked to gun culture. Now, what I didn't put in to
knife culture,
to gang culture. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you following me now?
Yeah,
I do now. Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of it, like there was an incident when they put it on Sky News. Fucking taxi driver didn't pay, the passenger in the taxi didn't pay the taxi. Stabbed, know what I mean? There was a domestic issue in there, stabbed. So what I don't like is it gets pinned on to gang culture, and then by extension, which we'll go into, drill music and that. So what I want to know is there a way you can separate the two and say, right, gangs are gangs.
But the thing is, I think
gangs are always going to
be part of it, but
dip into both of them.
The problem is because of the demographic who's getting killed. If 5 lads get killed who are in gangs, but then three young black lads get killed who aren't in gangs, they'll just get lumped in together. You know, it's because it's just young. If I say to you, another young black kid gets killed in London, you just initially think of gang. You don't ask any of the issues. A thing that you did touch on, Curtis, which I found quite interesting, was because of the London-centric news coverage that we do get, you know what I mean? You would think that this sort of violence is only London. Come to Liverpool. You've had murders, but it's not knives, it's guns. So Manchester has a lot of murders.
We have
had
knife murders though. That kid who was 21, what's his name? Sam,
oh yeah, he got stabbed.
Yeah,
so
he got stabbed in Empire.
We haven't got many knife.
It's not as much as it.
Down to knives.
It's guns.
No,
so
there's a lot of stabbings.
There is
though. There's no murders.
Yeah, but you're always going to run the risk, aren't you?
Was there not one a couple of weeks back? I'm sure there was.
That kid.
Oh no, sorry, no. There was a kid in EBGBs that got
sliced.
Yeah.
There definitely is like a rise of violence in general, I'd say, over the whole country.
That's the internet for me, though.
Talking about like London, like what I don't like is Glasgow had a lot of problems with like the same sort of things. They had the highest murder rate, I think, even in Europe at one point.
It was.
Now, the way they tackled it was they made it stop using it as like a criminal thing, as a public health problem. They've now tackled it, and after 10 years they're getting it down, and it's, you know, it's a much safer place. But when it's like London or black people, the remedies are not like forthcoming. It's always more criminality, harsher sentences. America's got the harshest sentences in the world. The crime doesn't go down. Giving people, if you're in that mind frame where you're out there and you're going to kill someone, or you're going to stab someone, and you're getting 10 years or you're getting 20 or 30, at that point it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
You've already contemplated the consequence.
Yeah,
well, you're not asked.
You're not asked. I think it's a thing of you're not being asked. So, you know,
a lot of the things, and this goes into the drill thing as well. I haven't quite, sorry listeners, but I've got a good point to make, but you know when it's all over the place. What we're seeing now as adults as well, that's another thing, is, and I've made this point to you outside the pod, is, so let me just take drill for instance. This drill music now, oh my god, this is fucking terrible. Look at this music, look at the videos, they've got hoods and all we're getting, Peter, I don't know if you'd agree, is that people are using YouTube a lot better, so it's being packaged to you. You can sit here now and probably go and see some estates in London, whereas before you would have had to listen to a Dizzy Rascal tape.
No, the internet
and listen.
Exposes a lot of like things that would never have been seen
before.
That's
so it's raw. It's always been going on.
Yeah,
it hasn't
changed.
The
thing is the murder rate, which is quite interesting. If you look at like 10 years ago, the murder rate's actually, we've got a high murder rate, but it's in comparison to maybe the last decade. If you go back 10 years and then go further 10 years, it's actually getting less violent all the time, which is crazy because you'd actually think with the 24 new, media now is in your face, you automatically, I think, as well as you're getting older, you've got an almost nostalgic way of thinking about.
Yeah.
I seen someone who's 3 years younger than us say on their timeline, why can't lads just have straighteners like they had in our day? People weren't having straighteners in our day, were they?
No,
they weren't. No. There weren't no straighteners. So this thing that younger people are already saying, in our day, we had straighteners. Straighteners have been dead for fucking...
Yeah, we come into the... as we come to the session...
I think straighteners... I've got a sneaky suspicion that this legendary straightener where two gangs of lads would all meet and they'd have a one-on-one. I personally think it's a bit of a myth.
What it is,
to be honest,
it's relative to your circumstance. So with what we're speaking about here is gang culture. So possibly it did go on a bit in the 80s, but we can only speak about our situation. I know in secondary school, and probably coming out of secondary schools where it went left, you're having a straightener, no one was jumping in.
Yeah, but I think that would probably happen now if you were in school.
No, you're mad.
I don't think people are kids. You're a school kid.
You're mad. I've seen things on Instagram where there's been rooked manga. That it is what it is, lad. And another thing, what I'll say as well, I remember I've heard this before that, right? So we're in a gang, them man are carrying knives, so we carry knives, and I think that's a big thing now, especially with the internet. No, it is. It's a massive thing. That's massive, and there's not enough to be taking it back the other way.
So can I just use an example without naming any names, right? We went for, when we were younger, we went for straighteners, like to basically back it with people, and then when we got there we found out that people had big old knives in their bags at this straightener, and these were on our side. Like, it's always been there. Someone has always brought a knife to a fist fight, you know what I mean?
The difference is, and you'll probably shoot me down here, the difference is who's going to use it.
Now, but
you don't know.
It doesn't.
They could go out with the intention of not using it.
Yeah, it just depends. It's the circumstance. Kids, a lot of things happen in the moment. Yeah. Your mate might be getting muftied, and there might be 3 of them on him. You've got no.
You could have it in your hand, and someone smacks you in the side of your head, and just the first instinct. I'm not excusing it in any way, but
this is the same sort of thing with guns to an extent. If they're there, lad, they might get used. Yeah. If they're not there,
there's always a risk of it happening. You know what I mean?
So, as we talk about obviously this knife crime epidemic in inverted commas, solutions to it. Now, what I think is quite funny and quite telling, just in general, when we speak about this, no one speaks about austerity. We are now this generation of people, the first generation. I'm sure there's a statistic. You'll be worse off than your parents. We're starting to see the bite of the cuts, which started I think in 2010, was it, Peter? Yeah. You're starting to see now, this is what's happened. A lot of these kids, even now the people with knives and these things, they didn't have the unity, the meth, or the
outlets where you could go.
They didn't have things where you could might get into music. A lot of these things have been shut down, and this is now the chickens have come home to roost in a way, but you'll never see the media really delve into this properly.
Just on that point, that's funny because when I think back to when we were kids, whether or not we took them up, think of the distractions we had to be in a controlled environment supervised by adults. Yeah. We could go literally from Monday to Friday go out after school till 9:30, do a bit of exercise, and be in a controlled, productive environment, couldn't we really?
Yeah. I'm sure you could do it. I'm sure you could.
There'll be
now.
avenues now, but
Fire
it'll just be fewer and far between.
Yeah, especially in London when I see interviews with people, they're saying a lot of their things of community being shut down. So there's no places for kids to go. So if we talk about what needs to happen, you know, one of the big things at the moment is stop and search. What's everyone's thoughts on that?
I think stop and search, if done correctly. See, why stop? Sorry, let me take a step back. We're saying it's majority black people, yeah, black males involved in this, majority in London. There's already a disconnect between the police service and the black community, especially black males. We don't need to go into the history, we just know. Remove that for a second. Stop. If that weren't there, stop and search is the answer. I'm stopping you and I'm searching you. Not because you're black, preferably, but because there's issues with knives here, and you know, I need to see if you've got a knife. The problem you've got is the stop and search is abused and will be used to, it sounds a bit stupid, but it will be used to target the likes of me and you,
a specific demographic
who fit the bill.
Yeah.
And that's where the piss take comes. That's where the absolute piss take comes, and that's where it doesn't work. Also, you've got the people who will be targeting caught with a knife. They're not asked. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The stop and search is to help the likes of me and you. I was on public transport last night. I was fucking shitting myself. You know, no, I was, because you're a big man, lad. I'm not a kid, and there's kids at the fucking train station, and I'm like, alright, lads, you want a ciggy? Just trying to get them on
Just
side.
don't take me money.
And the thing is, the stop and search will only help those who want it to get better.
Yeah.
And what you've got to also, and I'm not trying to condone, is a lot of people want to live that life, and this is what needs to be said, and they need to be dealt with accordingly.
Yeah, I agree with that.
There are people who want to live outside of it.
Right,
Society.
you've got a different view on stop and search, yeah.
I personally don't see that it can't happen. It can't not happen. Like, stop and search has to happen now. Like, just due to the frequency of people with knives, the frequency of people using knives, and the frequency of deaths from knives. The only option for me.
Do you know when it happened last time?
Present,
You know when sus laws came into play in the 80s and then again in the 90s, the amount of stop and searches did not bring the linked crime down.
I personally couldn't comment on that, because obviously I go off your word, and yeah, fair enough, that is a very valid point, but maybe it's just, I don't know.
I understand totally. To me it's a band-aid over a gaping wound. You know,
maybe it's a short-term solution.
Yeah, it's a short-term solution that
it's
alright, we just stop everyone, but you know, as you know, the thing is when you see people speaking about it, it's work with the people. People know who the ones the kids need to. Yeah. Social services will not. I see some statistic that the big indicator for jail and criminality is school's expulsion. Yeah. You're expelled from school, your odds of going to jail are like fucking 10 times higher than it would be. So you know who kind of these things are. Doing a blanket sort of stop and search approach doesn't, you know, look at the times, Peter, you know, we're not in London, so it's different, you know, anyone can get stopped. Yeah. You forget, Peter, as much as like...
Oh, I remember.
As much as like, oh yeah, let's just stop and search. It's what the police are doing when they're stopping and searching. They're not saying, come here lads, look, we've got a knife problem, you know, we're just going to pat you down, you know, they're ragging you, they're pushing you against walls, they're making you feel like an absolute criminal.
Police
they're making you feel...
in the end
what needs to happen is, PCSOs in London, in Runcorn, they've got a thingy, but then it's open to abuse again, because you just don't turn the thing on. When you turn the recorder on, it links.
Yeah.
So if I turn my recorder on
the body cam,
so there's a body cam, but there's no way I can't
no obligation for them to turn it on.
But what it gives is that, let's just say it goes back to a fucking server and says there's a stop. So if you now say, he fucking put his fingers up my bum, then they can go back to
but
why did this go to
that? That's probably something that needs to be looked at. But also another thing that people aren't looking at is do the police have the same respect and authority from within inner cities? No, then you've got to think about this.
No,
to
I'm
the
the
youths,
previous thing, never mind.
to enough to deter them from, oh, do you know what, to plod it out today. And that might back up there, well, that's why we've got to rough them up. What I'm saying is, in a roundabout way, are the police still the police? You know what I mean? Are people asked about the police anymore? I've seen, man, and I know I shouldn't take this from Instagram, but I've seen this a few times, like, people are robbing police cars. I've seen the police get chased.
Yeah, but this is again, goes back to my original point of all this, the thing of this. Another reason that this crime epidemic. So it was not only as all these youth centres closed, police ain't got enough numbers to even investigate.
No numbers no more.
They ain't got enough numbers to investigate. Now, lad, if you get burgled, you phone the police, they might give you the fucking crime number, lad, and see you in a few days. They're just, the way the country has gone in the last couple of years is shocking.
It's down to austerity again.
It's so you've got these kind of, all these forces, lack of places to go, lack of things to do, lack of police. And not even lack of police, you know, people will commit crime, but lack of visibility, especially if you're 16 on the street. You're not that, you know, if you're a serious criminal, you do whatever you need to do. But when you're six, I remember one time when we were kids, and it was fucking horrible, to be honest. We used to get stopped. We were just good kids. Yeah. We remember one time we were on Allerton and we got stopped 3 times. We got stopped 3 times in 1 hour and searched each time for robbed phones by the same police officers. In the end, one of them said to me, "To be honest, lad, if you don't go back to Toxteth, we'll be all over you all night."
That's
so
bad,
that this has got down to me abuse.
But the thing is, now, you might think, yeah, that's bad, but we knew we had to go home.
Yeah.
As much as, yeah, he's abused it, if you don't see no police ever, and that never happens, then like, you can have. I'm not saying I'm not saying we need to stop and search. I'm just saying, but the actual visual, if you're getting stopped, you know, you might not think of it. Now, lad, there's no even police about you, and people get away with murder these days. And that's another thing, you know what I mean?
That's
people die and not on
the. Do you have that in your
done.
mouth?
No.
You have?
I haven't.
No, that is another thing. But that's not down to society. That's down to. Well, and there's another thing here though as well.
What?
Just picking up his pen. If you just had that.
There's another thing here though. Is that I know if I had an issue with you, let's just say, and I lived that life. I know that I could probably stab you on Smithdown or wherever. Yeah. Ryan, you listening?
Yeah.
Peter. Likelihood is, unless a police car comes past or the CCTV, I'm not going to fucking get caught.
Unless there's a blatant witness who's willing to give a testimony.
So as much as people are crying about, and I'm not advocating the finger grass, whoever listens to this bullshit, although I would call the police if I was physically assaulted. You've got to look at. No, you've got to look at that as well, lad.
The thing is, though,
the police are only as good as information they get.
I understand. I do agree to an extent, but I'd like to think surely if they've got more resources, then they can speak to more people.
When was the last time that you've seen like a policeman walking?
No, I haven't. Yeah. I haven't even seen a policeman walking down Lodgy or Smithdown.
No, that's what I mean. Like when we were younger,
there'd be like
the Bobby on the beat, and they'd be too busy walking.
Yeah, Picton.
Even if they were them specials,
you never see that no more. Yeah. Never.
But policing is different now. I know from our work. So you'll have neighbourhood teams and response teams. The neighbourhood teams are more like,
aren't they them like fucking thingies?
Made up of PCSOs mainly. Yeah. Then you will, if you went to Croxteth, if you went to Norris Green, you will see PCSOs on the beat. Probably if you went like certain estates in Liverpool, let's say the park. If you went by
Kenny, you'd see them.
Kenny. If you go by Sefton Park, because how the neighbourhood policing team works is who's telling us what's going on. People in Kenny are phoning us saying, "Listen, mate."
Kenny's got big problems though.
No, but
yeah, that's a very impoverished area.
Yeah, so. That's like one of the worst areas in the country.
But what I'm saying is the response, the police response, is a response to the community response.
Yeah.
So you can't be, if the police do not know there is issues in
You
this
can't,
area,
yeah.
they're not going to be coming, like, and they'll leave you to
that's
do
the
what
point.
you're doing. So I think to wrap this up, kind of thing, as Ryan picks up the agenda.
So just touching on, you know, the causes and whatnot. Do you think parents come into it with how they like discipline children? No, we're all fathers here, so
I think once you get to a certain
you know,
age-
especially me and Katers, no offense be there, we've got black boys. You're potentially going to have some of these issues. Do you think how much of a sway do you think you can have? And is that through things like hitting your kids?
Well, I think the first point for me is, and I can only speak from my experience, the school. Okay, so, and I've been fortunate enough to go to school myself, watch our lads go through school, and I can pin that on our school experience. So when our lads were in primary school and when we were in primary school, the focuses were totally different. So when we were in primary school, it was who's the cock, who's the roughest, probably trainees, and who's got the nicest gear and these materials. Would you
Was that like that in your school?
In primary.
And seniors?
No, in seniors, yeah.
In primary, no.
Primary was more.
Primary
Where's
was
the
a-
ball then?
Go on.
Where's the ball? That's all anyone was
So
asked about.
that was my school experience, which is
The later years, obviously, it became like there'd be birds and that, but
yeah.
it's
So I've watched their two lads. Thing of who's fighting, and I remember I asked one of our lads, "Who's the cocky or yeah?" And he was like, "You shouldn't be saying that." And he's thinking I'm thinking cock as in.
So they're not even bothered
That's
about
not a
it.
thing. That maybe for their year, that's not a thing. And if you've seen the kids, you'd understand. But I took Curtis to football. Yeah, okay, and he's in their school. To Kingsley. First thing, I paid 80. My dad paid 120 for these boots. What are you up?
Serious?
Bro, serious. When I was like, raw.
Yeah, but they go to a good school, don't they?
They go to Sudley. So this is where I'm taking you. This is where I'm going back. You asked me, have we got sway? It starts there. You put your kids around, or if they're around certain things from a young age and desensitised, because I was desensitised to gun violence. I've been kept in school like 4 times because someone got shot right outside school. Someone got killed down the road. You know what I mean? So you did desensitised to these sorts of things. We had big drug dealer people coming to the school to collect the kids. Drugs has never been a thing. But to these kids in the likes of Sudley and where'd your kid go?
Gasping.
Won't be a thing. Do you know what I mean? So it's about where your kids are put around from an early age. And then once you get to secondary school, I don't think our school was that bad, but I know if you go shorties, because what you've got in shorties is you've got the natural progression from where we went, and our mums probably went to shorties themselves and were like, nah.
I was due to go to Shorties. You know?
Yeah, that
Was you?
Yeah.
You saved yourself there.
I put in
You know what?
because everyone I
Speak-
knew was going
Let me
to
finish.
to
So,
trouble.
to answer your question, it's about what you're putting your kids around at home and when they're going to school.
So what do you think, Peter, on like hitting your kids and how
Does it-
much influence you can have?
That has no link.
There's a
I
title.
think a discipline, sorry, that has no link to whether your kid's going to go and...
No,
A lot of people don't care just when you. As
People
much
use
as
it as the thing, there's the discipline's gone
you're
at home and
saying that,
therefore-
but a lot of people will say, you know what it is, these kids don't get lit, you can't even hit your kids
No,
anymore.
what
and
that is, that's about people only having one way of having a control over their child. You can have an authoritarian relationship with your child without it always being about that. And I say that from experience, and you'll probably know this. Your kids know who the boss is. You can play around in here with Francesca and have a laugh. Once that hammer drops, it's fucking dropping, and you know what time it is. You know what I mean? And I just think some people don't know how to have. It's either I'm a prick and a dad, and you know I'm your dad from the time you get up to the time you go to bed, or you just be easy with it. And I think you're more inclined to become a knife-wielding madman if you're pressured.
if violence is a
If,
see, my
if
thing
violence
is
is a tool,
violence. If
basically.
violence is a tool of control, I'm big and you are. It almost becomes that's how problems
how power
get.
is,
That's how
yeah.
problems get resolved. What do you think on it, Peter? Like
well,
your thoughts?
basically I think it's a tightrope myself. I do feel like discipline is obviously necessary, and then people believe that, well, let's just say it how it is. We watched a video was put in our WhatsApp group where basically there was someone who you could hear in the background getting licks, and the guy on the video, it was obviously a sibling, and was laughing at the sound of these licks. While all I kept, maybe it's just me, maybe I've changed as like being a dad or whatever.
Soft.
But I just I heard the kid just basically begging the parents
Please, mummy,
to not get the licks, and I thought, nah, that's too far.
I'll tell you what, there's a few things that I go into that video. When I looked at it from a point of view of licks and licks, that's how I've been raised. Licks. If you don't, I was raised by my nan. If you don't hear right,
I've
you must
started
feel.
using that phrase, by the way, off you. I thought that's the best thing I've ever heard.
And that was it, and that was straight. I'll just give you a little bit of an example. I was 3 or 4 years of age, come back from somewhere with my nan. I used to want to do what my nan was doing. She made me a sandwich, and I still remember it. You probably heard this thing. Still remember, she made me a sandwich. She made their sandwich and put Encona pepper on it. And I screamed for the Encona pepper. Screamed and screamed and screamed. She told me no. So I didn't hear, did I? So she put the pepper on one of my sandwiches and made me eat half the sandwich. That's that, lad. And that is how simple it is. Yeah, how I was raised. And I think it's the same with a lot of West Indian and African cultures. The game is set. All you've got to do is listen. Whether or not you agree with what you're being told or asked to do, that's a different argument.
See, but
let me finish. Sorry. All you've got to do is listen. If you don't listen, this is what will happen.
No, so obviously that can be exchanged out though. Like the whole discipline of it can be exchanged out. It doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't have to be licks is the thing. No. And don't get me wrong, like my kids have been naughty before, and obviously you do not hear, you must feel. You know what I mean? And that, we won't go into what has happened, but so you just say.
I think in that incident, really good topic this, by the way. But there was another one, sorry, I need to bring in this other video, and we had a similar conversation. This video was extreme. A woman in Jamaica beaten
with a machete or something.
Beating a
and then
daughter
switched
with a
Yeah,
that's extreme.
That's not extreme, kids. That's
how you beating someone with a knife.
Kids, it's extreme. Like, oh, you know.
No, do you know how you know that woman? And Adam pointed this out. Like, do you know how that woman has done this too many times? Because she's hitting that kid with the side edge of the knife.
Machete with no issue.
Each time.
With no issue.
Not cutting them, just using it as a slapping tool.
But Adam's also made a great point, which I will never pick him up. A lot of these things, right? A lot of I'm not saying abuse is attributed to black and to African West Indian families, but a lot of black families lick the kids, yeah. But a lot of these behaviours stem back to when, even in my nan's time, you know, in Jamaica, your kids could get you killed, lad. Your kids come on my land and fucking take a mango. You getting it?
Yeah.
So you got to look at it with that, from that context, from that aspect as well, from probably an African, you know. Let's just say you go on white land in a place in Africa, you're getting killed. So when their families move over here, they're bringing that type of behaviour, and it's getting.
I understand the cultural background.
Yeah,
I understand the cultural thing, but speaking about, like, you know, the reality is, Curtis, we're not in Africa, we're not in Jamaica, so you almost get a thing of
speak the language.
you almost get a thing of resentment from the kids.
Yeah, you
so
do.
if I'm trying to, you know, in fairness, my dad didn't do it, but I've seen it. You've got African people trying to discipline children, like within Africa, but the children are British with British, you know. It's not, you know, it's the thing is, kids, it's so hard to do because
it is.
The thing is, they're going to come to a certain age where they're going to be like, what are you doing? It doesn't. I
think the thing is, it's about not. From that, after there's another way of looking at that. Is that?
But don't the parents can't just. I don't think you can. If everyone lives that, lad, then it's much easier to implement. But if you're the one who's getting beats and that.
Yeah, I
you
was
know.
that guy. You've never got your ass kicked, though.
No.
You and Fennel never. It was probably me. As when we linked with that Aaron, I know Kyle got it. I'm probably thinking your man's on here. But I was that guy. But for me, as I got a bit older, I was like, nah, this is a bit. But it was always before I started rolling with you, yeah. It was me, Aaron, probably Clinton. That I didn't really. We all got licks, so there was no. It wasn't any difference. Do you know what I mean? So. It's only as you got older, you thought, hang on, I'm 14, what the fuck are you playing at? And then that offsets another thing with me and my mum, because once the licks didn't work, she was out, and then there's nothing she could do then. So then that just creates problems.
But that's the thing, as soon as the licks don't work,
you're fucked.
Then there's no...
The only option then is...
I seen something which I thought was very interesting, just about parenting in general, and it was like, people underestimate how much of a two-way street it is, you know what I mean? That's why I always think, my thing, obviously my son is very young, you almost have to build a relationship of respect, you know, he has to, at the end of the day, you can hit or whatever you want, you can do whatever you want, if they don't respect you, it doesn't matter.
What I've found is, I don't know if Peter's got the same, is communication is key, right, when you're trying to discipline them, because again, in my experience, and even you could get licked.
Why did I get that?
I don't even know what I've done.
Like earlier, like I had to sit my son down, like who's just turned 3. He stole an apple off the bowl after he asked for it, got told no, took the apple, hid under the table, bit it, just eating it on the sly. So obviously I've took the apple off him, disciplined him by telling him off, and made them understand that I've told you, I've said no, you've then took it and hid it, so you know it's wrong, and you try and like back it, you know what I mean?
But that's what I think.
This is why you're getting in trouble.
So again, we can on my example. This little fucker was drawing on the walls, lad, when he was like 18 months old or something like that. He was drawing on the walls. Yeah.
For the benefit of the tape, I'm pointing at a mark on
I knew it was him.
My house.
I knew it was him. This is I'm using this example because this is with face. I knew it was him, and then I kept asking him. He could respond to me. He might have been a bit younger. I kept asking him. He blamed his sister at first. kept asking.
All faithful.
Then I caught him, so I licked him. Because you've been told, know what I mean? You've been told. Yeah. So let's bring this
I don't like that. Maybe I would be more angry if he blamed others.
No, that's just he's a young kid and he knew, freaking hell, my dad's going to kill me. But going back to this tape, what sparked this discussion, you've got a few things here. These are your GCSEs, and we know as adults, really, they can be resat. And, you know, they're not...
GCSEs mean fucking...
But let me finish.
Yeah.
But what you try and do, and I know this with Lisa's lad, is this is where you try and build in work ethic into the child. Yeah. His son was going, because we were on this case from the school to library for months, from school till 8. Yeah, he was putting the work in because he'd been from his dad. I was giving him putting in this work ethic. You know what, lad? He got all B's. Yeah, so that's where that's gone right. That's gone right. Let me finish. This, I would imagine, I can't say. This parent probably has put in that kind of structure.
No, you can't
say.
You
but
can't.
For the argument,
you can't make just that thing.
But alright, let's just say they have.
There's a lot of people do things like this when.
And then
how do we know that kid's not as dumb as a stone?
Okay, well let me finish.
And then that dad's there or whatever saying, I'm expecting A's.
But what this parents I think is showing is that you haven't tried hard enough. No parent is going to beat their child.
You could not attain
that kid could have tried at their level.
No.
The thing is, my thing is, there's no point as a parent. I remember you were the one who put this phrase to me. There's no point crying over spilt milk. That parent must know, lad. You must know if you're involved in your kid's education, their application, before their test results come out. If I can see, like my little brother, for example, I can tell that his results have started struggling because he's not working hard, lad. I'm not there every day, you know what I mean? If I can't see my kid is not gonna, why's that she expecting better grades?
No, okay.
If you're saying if the work application's not there, so either if he's been working hard and he gets bad grades, it's unlucky.
Yeah, that's
you know
bad,
what I mean.
but we don't
but
know that.
if he hasn't been working hard, it's no point beating him at the end.
No,
you
there
should
is.
be beating him
No,
at the
no,
start.
no. There is.
Saying why aren't you working
No,
hard?
this is why there is. This is why it's why I think if it's been used as I thought about this video. You know your GCSEs are coming up, yeah? I've told you now, you need to work hard at these GCSEs.
You should be taking them and doing
No, you're 16 now. This is where the lessons are learned. Lad, we're not wiping your ass.
He's not beating Curtis at 16, what's the point of that?
But we don't, was it GCSEs?
If this is where lessons is learned, why are you beating a 16-year-old?
Because
why are you beating them at the end when it's too late?
Because what it does, it inputs, one, next time, I'm going to let's just say for instance he hasn't applied himself. I'm going to apply myself and I'm going to reach these grades. But also in a perverse way, it also puts in a thing in your head that there's consequences to your fuckery. So if you don't work...
Apart from the fact that you've got shit results.
Curtis, you're not young, you're not fucking 5 years old. You could have said all this beforehand.
Ryan,
I'm sorry.
if you don't hear, you must feel...
Yeah, but Curtis, it's too...
Yeah, he's going to feel that sting when he's getting his application to McDonald's.
So I don't think, just to go back to the video, we shouldn't, sorry, not to use the video, I don't think licks are bad, but they're not first on my list.
Me personally, I think, I could never imagine myself hitting...
You can, lad. I said that.
Okay, you've said this about other things, but we won't go into. And so far, you know, you've said a lot of things.
Did you ever think...
No, but the thing is, I'm just saying what I think, yeah. So, whether I'm proved right or wrong, I'm not saying you're doing a wrong thing. I'm not asked, you know, everyone can have their own things. I personally couldn't see myself hitting my son, but I'm sure there might be situations where
there's going to be situations
that gets through, and I've been proper frustrated. He's only a baby.
You're on your toes.
But I've lost my train of thought now.
There's been situations, and I've viewed situations where male, as your son gets older, I've viewed it. As your son gets older, if you haven't got the right relationship with him, the only way to keep your authority
in check is violence.
Is violence, bro. I've watched it, and this is where I go back to communication, because certain dads don't. I know I've heard this from other people who've got African dads. It's like there's no. How are you, lad, today? I was today. Know what I mean? There's none of that, is there?
No.
So once you get to a certain age,
as much as the thing is, someone from in that situation. As much as like my dad, he was always someone that we were scared of, and you know he had that kind of
fucking skill scared.
He had that menacing sort of not menacing, but you know you were scared to ask your dad for money. You were scared, you know, if your dad said something to you, you'd be shitting yourself. But as you become a man and you become older, and then it gets past that, it's like.
Who are you kidding?
You know, it's not, oh, you're kidding, Curtis. There's a lot more to a relationship.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
One of fear and being
that's what I'm saying.
And being like, you know, you would never even think of stepping to them. Forget about that thing. But I think you could do all that. Have you ever thought about stepping to your dad, Peter?
Coin toss.
No, but you've got a relationship with your dad where you can go in and say, you know what,
me and my dad have got a decent relationship, like, and as we were growing up, we never got like beatings off my dad or nothing like that. When we was naughty, we'd get like
I didn't, to be honest, but it was just
like around the head, you know what I mean, the odd time. And for the most part, if you'd done something bad, you'd get like a smack, you know what I mean, that was it. But I don't know, we've got a good relationship. When we were getting older, especially when I was getting older, maybe a few times it got to a point where shouting matches in the house, and it's one of them. You're close to lighting the touch paper, and then it all goes off then. But then, as yourself, you're at that age then when you realise consequence, and you think, if this happens,
your whole relationship's
that's it then.
Yeah, there's a thing that
there's still that thing, like, you don't test your hard fella.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But I think there's another. I think as a dad, again I've watched it. If my son presented to me like that, I'd laugh him off.
I wouldn't.
I would.
Nah.
Because if he's right,
that's the one time that licks at me.
No.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that. No, I agree with that.
Because just think, every future time, that then put it in terms
the
of
pendulum of power.
Wildlife. Put it in terms of wildlife. You are the alpha in your household.
But that's how you want to.
In that aspect, and then say the young,
It's
the
a thing that's
beta
all.
male comes into
I think it's the most.
the challenger power
There's-
happens.
I think
and
as
then
we get older,
after that
there's a
it's
lot of
done.
people who would be able to mufti the dad, yeah. Just saying, just in general, you would never dream of stepping to your dad.
What I'm saying-
I think that's like one of the most
Yeah.
disrespectful
It is, yeah.
things
What I'm
to
saying
do
is-
to a parent,
what I'm saying-
especially your dad as a man. I think even if you knew you could,
Yeah.
you should. That should never.
But if
It's
the
not an
relationship
option.
is
Yeah.
such where your son's stepping to you,
But then you've done something badly wrong.
But, well, this is what I'm saying. So in that situation, I don't think you'd have. So that's only going to happen if he's living under your roof. Because you're not going to.
True.
No, you're gonna bump heads as you get older with
So what I'm
someone.
saying is, he's living under my roof. He's clearly not financially stable. It's, you know what I mean? He's still on the teat. You don't have to do it that way. This is where people
No,
go
but
wrong, lad.
they
Let
can
me
still
finish.
be living under the same roof, but still holding down a job. And that this is again going back to the thing of parents are now doing better than the kids, and
Now it's so hard to move out.
that's what I mean. To
It is
getting
so hard.
just look at the financial situation now, getting a mortgage or whatever.
Mm.
That could keep you at home.
I just think if you're in a position, my thing is.
And plus, you're going to be paying keep in them situations regardless.
Mm.
So if
But-
you're paying keep, you have a say.
Lad, I didn't. This. Oh, I didn't.
So you've got to have some sort of.
There's a delicate balance.
There's
in
a
there.
it should be a democracy if you're throwing money in.
Yeah,
I believe.
exactly.
But at the end of the
You
day,
may not get a big
at the
vote,
end
but
of
you
the
get a
day, it
say.
is still you're not a guest. You're a guest. It's your house,
Yeah.
but you're
You're
it's
a
not.
lodger.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
what it's interesting though, you know, because it's just I'm in watching a lad now. He's 16, lad, and if she's got it right, so I can't say she hasn't. I'm not saying that dad hasn't, you know what I mean? But it's just interesting watching the dynamics between the relationship with the mum and the relationship with dad. And I, to be fair, I'm quite similar to their dad, but I just don't think there's no communication
Yeah.
thing with it, you know what I mean? And I've watched other people.
In fairness, what I think a lot of these issues is the relationship that, let's say, me and Al wouldn't have with me dad compared to what Bobby and Aquan have is like my dad's a different guy with them. But I think a lot of things.
Do you think that he's gone softer with age?
But yeah, this is another thing. Like, especially like what I've seen with younger brothers who like Aquan is 15 years younger. Even your mum, when she had me, she's 19, 20.
Yeah,
When she
yeah.
has him, she's 35. There's a lot of growth and there's a lot of.
Development is a
If I had a baby when I was 20,
Yeah,
you might be licking because you're still immature.
frustrated,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Now
yeah.
you're a lot more laid back, placid or whatever.
Yeah.
So
And I think once you have a baby, if you're young when you have a baby, like teens, you never grow up. You never grow up. That's my theory.
why do you think you grow up?
No, you don't.
I think kids, you grow up faster.
No,
But then at the end, when you're still young enough to do stuff, then you're almost revert and live out your younger days.
Yeah. You're a lot more selfish.
Yeah, as you get older.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my own thing.
So are licks acceptable? Absolutely. Or when does it become abuse? Well, personally, abuse for me is, getting if you're getting beat because you've done something wrong, it can't be abuse for me. Within reason.
It depends what. Yeah, I think it.
If you're getting beat,
I agree to the ethically. I think a smack beats cases. It depends what beats are.
well,
Beats,
repeated strikes with a belt like that video, would that constitute
I think
abuse?
I think that's out of order. To be honest.
Yeah.
I think that's a smack. Yeah. It depends as well. That lad's 16. Kids, people are taking belts like that to 7-year-olds.
Yeah.
When you're a 7-year-old yourself, taking it, you as I said, you always think of yourself as a big man or a big person.
Yeah.
Think of your son now taking a belt to him repeatedly,
lad, we got
chasing
this-
him
no,
round.
I couldn't beat-
I know it's
I'm
a
putting
difference.
it in the crowd.
It's a difference in time, Curtis, but times change and things change, lad. The
I
thing
wouldn't
is,
give it now.
back in, I used to get. By the way, I used to get whipped by my mum was the one
Yeah,
who used to whip
I've
me.
seen you get beat.
I've been whipped,
Just
lad.
wasn't frequently.
Yeah, I've been whipped, lad, by my mum, but it's just as a teenager, my mum had respect for me.
That is, and do you know what? That's a great point. And that's that is it. I got no respect.
At the thing, lad, when you're getting hit at a certain age, that I don't think doesn't matter, lad. Yeah, even if you just smack or whatever, there comes a point where when your kid gets to a certain age, even as you can't be smacking teenagers like.
And I'm not going to mention names. A close family friend, right? I have witnessed a 30+ man getting beat from his mum.
Fuck that.
That's ridiculous.
Fuck
And
that.
what that comes down to, it's a cultural thing, lad. Because lad, my nan, if she was fit, right, she'd still beat our Mark and Paul. Because in their culture, there's no thing of you being a man, lad.
Yeah.
You're my youth, so I don't give a fuck. And again, Adam made a good point. Like in other cultures, you get like a ceremony almost of being, so probably in...
What? Becoming a man? Like
Mazel tov!
Yeah.
No, you do though.
Oh,
You do though. Lad, there's none, so it's like you're my youth and I'll lick you down. But it's been difficult, what I will say, and Ryan's helped me here, to be honest with you. It has been hard with me sometimes with Curtis, because I've had to like shake that. Because you only know what you've been taught, innit? And I've had to shake it with Curtis because he can be a little fucker sometimes.
See, I thought that, like, me knowing my own temper, I reckon, in my head, I thought maybe I would be an advocate for licks and that. But I'm really not. Like I'll give it a smack when it's necessary. But licks, like using an implement as well, I couldn't do that.
And also I think as well, when it comes into the thing of discipline, it's your when we were younger, me and our kid, and we were saying, my mum never spoke. Everything she done was just shout. So you didn't know if she was if your dinner was coming, or you were getting your ass. You couldn't.
Yeah, there was no.
There was no level. So
no to 16.
So every time, but with probably with our kids, he knows, especially they know if I raise my voice even this tone, something's gone. You know what I mean? So I think you've got that as well with us. We're a lot older, aren't we?
Yeah.
And we're men.
I think I shout a lot, you know.
I don't. I'm conscious of that though, because that's another step before the lick. If I shout.
In fairness, you know what I said about like my dad was someone you wouldn't think. When I actually look back, it was what the things that he done with discipline don't necessarily are spot on, because you just had respect for him.
Yeah.
But it's the other side. They don't necessarily. They're not necessarily go hand in hand, if that makes sense.
The thing is, as a dad, he's probably, and I don't know, but from what you said,
nah, but that's just a culture thing.
You don't have to like him.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's I do.
No, that's the culture thing.
But Curtis, it's not about liking. It's not about. Because my dad's not a disciplinarian. I can understand that if you're a disciplinarian and you're involved. There's a difference between being involved and being distant, lad. That's a big thing. Now if I was on my son's back, like, you need to do this, you respect me, I'm involved. Now if I just don't hardly speak to him, but he knows he can't ever step to me, because I'll whip him. Not that he has to, that I have to do something, but he can't feel at the same time he can't come to me and say, dad, or I don't say to him, what's going on, how are you doing in school, how you, you know, if you're just completely, you know, withdrawn from someone, it's, you know, it's a different thing, isn't it?
Right.
I'm talking about should we go on to the last subject?
Yeah, let's do it.
6'9".
Nah,
just finish up.
Just on the topic of kids, because recently, obviously, a new game has come out for me at least.
I've got it for Christmas.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
I don't play games like that.
Playing games.
I play pussy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically, how do you feel about gaming with kids now?
To me,
as in, do you get a chance?
Well, I'll hold my hands up here, Peter, because I remember you said to me, you won't get a chance, and I was like, fuck off, Peter, I'll do what I want to do. I'm the advocate of football, man, and I'm saying this in work, I have played football, man, so much, it's probably unhealthy, and it's probably been an addiction. This year, with the first year that it came out, when I've got a son, I've played it for about 15 minutes. And it's no joke, like that, the time that you just haven't got anymore.
Like when I used to actually do stints, like I'd be in, because I used to live in my bed's like Mars, and my bed would be there, but I'd be in her room on the game, and I'd do easy 6-7 hour stints of that day gone to a game.
To me it's frustrating, because Like I've just bought that. Well, just bought. See how I'm speaking about the game. I bought it 2 months ago. God of War. Now that's a game I'd get sucked into. I've played it in 2 months, about 3 hours. So
I'm gonna borrow that after you.
It had its quality. So there's definitely there's a shift, but it's almost like you got the argument. Is there any point? But I know I've got Red Dead for Christmas. Yeah. I will continue to buy games even if they're not going to get clocked.
Like,
just so
I've got
I've got about 5 or 6 games that haven't been clocked that I will buy and just I will do one day.
No, it's a different kind of thing now, because literally if I can get an hour on it, I'll jump on whenever I can. Like, there'll be times when my bird's in work because she works till late, innit?
Yeah.
So there'll be an hour of me putting the kids in bed and my bird getting in, and I'll get on that before doing anything in the house.
Right, the worst thing is how fast does that hour go? Have you noticed that as well? When you do play a game, an hour is gone in an instant.
Yeah, it's just a madness. Like, literally, I'll hear the key go in the door and it'd be like, fuck, I was meant to do this because I've spent all my time just banging away at this game instead. But anyway, I just wanted to highlight the difficulty as gaming as a parent now.
If you want to be a gamer, don't have kids.
Yeah,
just wear a condom.
Rubber up.
Or deny it. Or deny it.
I know that. No.
Well, yeah, we'll be back soon, hopefully. In a bit.